you need a message, an audience, and a theme. And I'm going to break down each of these today.
And I know I'm speaking less than a month, but if they are done, then I would want to do that.
The boxes are here on my front step.
Today and like my reaction to that.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
Also saves you tons of time because you can schedule.
And how can I turn this into a career so that I can live every day like a life that I'm excited about and do a job that I love.
Hello everyone and welcome back to How to Start a Business in 2020, my 5-part video series on how you can start your online business, whether it's product or service-based, in 2020. So a quick recap, I'm Hannah Ashton. I have my YouTube brand, my podcast I've managed, I've done in-person events, as well as launching my product business, the Dream Achieve Workbook, in 2019. And I wanted to create this series for women or guys, if you're watching, who have an idea, they just don't know what are the steps needed to get that idea into a business format where you're making money, you're doing it the right way, and you're being profitable. So that's why in this series I wanted to tackle everything from going from product idea to branding to today we're going to be talking about how to finance this idea, the legal aspects, the nitty-gritty of, okay, where am I selling from, how much is that going to cost, that kind of thing. And then I'll be getting into product versus service-based businesses, what you'll need for that, and then eventually how to launch and scale your business in episode 5. So if you're new here, that's the spiel, and let's go ahead and get into today's episode. All right, so super casual. I'm now back at school, so I'm here filming this in my dorm room. The sun is setting, so I'm gonna try to go fairly quickly. So first things first, let's talk about financing. Maybe your business idea can all be done digitally and you need very little money for your startup costs. You probably still have some startup costs, like maybe the cost of your website domain, the cost of your website hosting, which we'll talk about in a second, or maybe marketing ads, anything like that. Those are all considered startup costs. But for me, with my product-based business, I had a lot of other startup costs, like money for manufacturing, money for all the design tools I needed, for the photo shoot, for the photos, a bunch of other expenses we won't get into now. But you may have some startup costs that may be $100, it may be $100,000, depending on your business, your idea, what you're gonna need. It's all dependent on what your idea is, what you need to get started, etc. But there are a few ways you can go around this. First is getting an investor, like someone like an angel investor whose job is to find businesses and invest money in them for either money back with interest or equity, which is just owning a piece of your company. This is more like Shark Tank style. If you've ever seen the show Shark Tank, think of it like this. For most of your businesses, I would not recommend getting an angel investor or an investor at this scale. I can see this being important is like if you're developing an app or some kind of tech startup or something where you're going to need a lot of funds, like over $50,000 worth of funding, then yeah, you probably can't just save up for that in the next year. So if you feel like you need an investor, really look into it, because I highly recommend not getting an investor if you don't need one. But let's say you do need a little bit of money. An awesome way to do that is crowdsourcing, which is basically, but like Kickstarter is the one I think of for businesses. And it's basically where you put your idea out there, you give people incentives to give to your company, whether it's like a percentage off of your product once it launches or a special gift in the mail, something like that. And so people can donate money to your business, but then you don't get that money unless you've hit your goal and actually launched your business. I've never done a Kickstarter personally, but I will have a link below where you can learn more about it and learn if it's good for your business. But that is also another way you can raise capital for your business, or you can do what I did and just bootstrapped it. So what that means is I put all of my own money into my business. I took savings that I had made from earnings from YouTube and working and just, working for all throughout high school. I had a good pile of savings and I put put all that money towards my business. I took no loans out, didn't put anything on a credit card, didn't ask my parents for money for my business. I did it all myself. And so if that's something you want to do, I think it's a great way to just, it's great because you don't owe anyone anything and it's all up to you. And it's also, you have a big stake. You have 100% stake in your company. So you feel very obligated to work hard and do the best you can to make it succeed. So if you're trying to be like that, then maybe get a side job, you know, work at a boutique, work at a restaurant, do something where you can have a steady stream of income and take a big percentage of that income every month into savings so that in a few months or maybe a year, however long you need, you can have money to start your business off of that savings fund. All right, and then I get a lot of questions about taxes and all of this. You do need to register your business as a business in your state once you have your name figured out. All of mine is just under my name, Hannah Ashton Content, since that's my brand name, and I have a lot of different things under it, like my YouTube and also now my business. So figure out what your name's going to be once you have all of that, and then register it either as an LLC, a sole proprietorship, or a corporation. Real quick, this is going to be like Business Basics 101. If you are going into this with a partner, look into that. I believe it's like a partnership or an LLC. You can have one or more partners. Most of you guys won't be corporations. That's for like publicly traded companies. Think Walmart, Amazon, big companies, corporations. Basically, the easiest way I can put this is between an LLC and a sole proprietorship. Sole proprietorship is like an individual. So if it's just you, for example, my business is a sole proprietorship. Everything's under me. I can run it all from one bank account, but I don't. I'll get into that in a second. But I do everything from me. So it's nice because I don't have to keep my bank account separate. It's all just like me, my business kind of are one thing. But the con to this is that if I ever get sued for any reason, I don't have, you know, with my company, it's not like it's not a high risk. I don't have a high risk of getting sued like a construction company, plumbing, you know, something that people would sue often for. But if I did get sued, they could come after me and my money and all my savings if that's what it took. With an LLC, you are separate from your company, and so that gives you some liability help, because let's say someone sues your LLC, they can't come after your personal money and savings and bank account. All they can do is take from however much money you had in the business bank account. So you have to keep everything separate. So that's like the most basic way for me putting it. If you want more information, there's tons of information online. I've gotten most of my information from professors and online articles, so definitely check those out. But you're most likely either going to be a sole proprietorship or an LLC, and you just have to register your company with the state. And currently what I'm going through is, since my business includes a product, is going through sales tax as well. So make sure you're just set up as a business to pay revenue taxes. And then also if you're selling like a product that gets sales tax in your state, you're going to collect sales tax just for the sales made in your state. That's what I do, and Shopify kind of helps me with that. If you have like this brand new idea you're bringing to the marketplace, you may want to check intellectual property rights. I don't have any experience with that, but that's something you can check into. If you do want to do a trademark search, this could help you not get sued in the future for stealing someone's name, for stealing someone's product idea. You can do patents. I will have information for that in the description box. But all I know is when I was researching, I just made sure Dream Achieve Workbook wasn't trademarked and that I could use it. So what I do to manage all of my money is I do have a separate bank account. Even though it's not required under a sole proprietorship, I do have a separate bank account for all of my income. It used to be all through PayPal. I've just actually this week though opened a new checking account with my bank, so that it's all in my bank and not between PayPal and my bank for reasons. But you can start with a PayPal as your business account if you want. If you do a lot of your invoicing through PayPal, it can be great to start out with. And basically what I would do is I would put all of my money into that bank account, all of my income, and then this past summer got a business credit card. So I got the Discover student credit card, because you don't have to have any line of credit to begin with. So I got that, and I only use that credit card for business expenses. So that's how I'm kind of tracking what business expenses I have, because you have to keep track of all that because you don't pay taxes on your business expenses. So you need to keep track of all of that, so you know what your income is, what your expenses are, and then you just pay tax on your profit. Then what I use to kind of manage it all, if you want to take it a step further, is I do have QuickBooks, which I will have the link to below. It is what I found the easiest way to manage business, personal expenses. It also helps you with taxes, tells you when you got to file for taxes, what you're going to need to give. And I have QuickBooks Self-Employed, which I believe is maybe $8 to $12 a month, but it's a great tool to use. It's what my parents' accountant recommended for me to use, so that's what I'm using. All right, and now it's time to figure out, how will you sell this, your POV, your point of sale. So for example, my point of sale, one of mine is Shopify and the other is my Instagram and Facebook, since I do have it set up on the Dream Achieve workbook Instagram that you can purchase through Instagram. So that is a point of sale. People can go through Instagram, which will then lead them to Shopify to purchase. Also, your point of sale may be a brick and mortar store. In that case, your POV is your cash register, whatever you use, whatever program you use on your cash register, whether that's through Shopify, Square, something else. Another point of sale would be like Amazon or Etsy. So you can have multiple point of sales. You can have your own website. You can have wholesale accounts, so your product in retail stores, and then also have your product on Amazon, maybe also on Etsy if it qualifies. You can have many points of sale, and honestly, as I'm learning through my product coaches, the more streams of revenue you have, the better. The more options, places you have your product, the better. Starting out, you may want to just choose one. I just use Shopify, and then Instagram and Facebook kind of came in with that. But now I'm starting to get into wholesale. I looked into getting on Amazon, decided it's not the best route for my business right now, but it may be for yours. So just know that there are all these options open for you to where you can sell your product and get that revenue. All right, so that is all the information I have today. So I hope it wasn't too overwhelming. If you have any questions, I will try to answer them below. I am not perfect on this. I definitely use my parents' accountant for help. I ask professors, I ask my product coaches, so I will give you guys all the information that I know, but I may direct you to other places who are better at the legal and financial aspect, the marketing, the product design, a little bit more my cup of tea. Hope this helped, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I will have episode 3 coming, which is going to be all about product-based businesses and how to find your margins, how to find manufacturers, wholesale. All of that will be coming next week or very soon. All right, love you guys so much, and I will talk to you later. Bye.